Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great-Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
And we're going to head to Summerfield for a lap or two with Harold Peary as the Great-Gildersleeve in an episode where Leroy gets to meet, because of his problems in school, Gildy gets to meet Eve Goodwin, his principal. And as you know, whenever it comes to Gildy and women, hilarity breaks out. The Great-Gildersleeve, January 23rd, 1944.
Kraft presents The Great-Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you the Kraft Music Hall every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Peary as The Great-Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. Now let's look in on the great Gildersleeve, whom we find at home and at peace in the bosom of his family. Having just enjoyed a quiet dinner with his niece and nephew, Marjorie and Leroy, he pushes back his chair from the table and reaches in his vest pocket for an after-dinner cigar.
Thought I had one.
Cigar, Unc? I'll get you one.
Well, thanks. Are we in your way here, Bertie?
Oh, no, sir, Mr. Gildersleeve. Just sit still. I hope you don't mind if I clear away the dishes, though. I got a meeting tonight down at the church.
What's the meeting about, Bertie?
Religion and the post-war world. I'm supposed to bring the donuts.
Here's your cigar, Unc. Shall I bite the end off for you?
Oh, I'll attend to that myself, thank you. Match.
I've got one.
Oh, thanks.
I'll light it for you.
Well, such service.
You got it?
Yeah, I've got it.
You sure it's lit?
Oh, it's lit.
I could light it again. I've got another match.
This is quite sufficient, thank you.
Are you enjoying it? Leroy, what's come over you?
Now, Marjorie, let's be thankful for small favors and ask not whence they come. Leroy's been a very good boy lately, hasn't he, Bertie?
He sure has. He ain't been himself all week.
Phone. I'll answer it.
I wish, Marjorie, you'd tell your friends not to disturb us during meals.
Hello? Yeah, this is Leroy. Who's this? Oh. Hello, Miss Goodwin.
Miss Goodwin?
Yeah, he's here. Just a minute, please.
I'll take it, Leroy.
Just a minute.
Give me the phone. You're keeping Miss Goodwin waiting.
Before I forget it, Unc, I've got a report card for you to sign. I've been meaning to show it to you, but it kept slipping my mind.
Give me that phone, Leroy. Hello, Eve? Oh, how are you? Well, it's been weeks. Leroy?
Uh-oh.
You stick around, young man. Excuse me, Eve. Why, yes, I'd like very much to talk about him. I'll come to school with him Monday. No, I'll tell you. Why don't you come to dinner tomorrow night? Could you do that? Fine. About 7. And we'll have a nice long talk. Goodbye. In the meantime, I'm going to have a nice long talk. Leroy, you come back here.
I'm not going anywhere, Unc.
You bet you're not. You come into the dining room.
Is there something you want?
No, young man.
It slipped my mind, Unc, honest.
What did? What slipped your mind?
The report card. I forgot to show it to you.
Where is this report card?
I've got it right here in my pants pocket.
Let's have a look at it.
Yes, sir. It's stuck. I can't seem to get it out.
Perhaps I can help you.
Oh, no, I've got it. There. Report card.
Leroy.
Well, the teacher doesn't like me, Unc.
I don't blame her. Besides, I've heard that before.
What did he get, Uncle Mort?
Never you mind.
Never mind.
You keep out of this, young man.
Yes, sir.
How long have you had this report?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
I didn't want to spoil your Christmas.
You mean you didn't want to spoil your Christmas? Leroy, this is a very serious matter.
Yes, sir.
How could you deliberately deceive me that way after all I've done for you?
I forgot, Unc.
You did not forget. Now, don't keep saying that.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve. If you don't mind, I'll run along now and leave the dishes till later.
Just a minute, Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Bertie, what would you think of a boy who would deliberately hide a report card from his uncle?
Oh, no, I don't think Leroy would do a thing like that. He probably just forgot.
That's right, I forgot.
Quiet, you. Bertie, when we want your opinion, we'll ask for it.
Well, excuse me, I thought you did. Well, I'll be going now.
By George, Leroy, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. It seems to me you just go from bad to worse.
Yes, sir.
You won't study, you have no manners, you won't brush your hair.
You think he might clean his nails before he comes to the table, too? Oh, yeah? Let's see yours. I dare you. There. Yeah.
Well, they'd look a lot better with that red stuff on them.
All right, how about that note from the teacher you didn't deliver? All right, how about the time you and Wally took the car out without permission?
Stop it, both of you. I'm not interested in any tales told out of school. If anything I abhor, it's a tattletale. I refuse to listen to anything of the sort. What's this about taking the car out, Marjorie?
Aren't you going to ask him about the teacher's note?
I'm asking you about the car. All right, Leroy, what about the note?
I lost it. That's not true. I found it when snooping in wastebaskets, hey?
Now, just a minute, you two. Leroy, what was in that note?
How should I know? It was addressed to you.
What was in the note?
It said, where's the report card?
Young man, do you know what happens to people who tamper with the mails? They go to the penitentiary.
Oh, gosh, I didn't...
They go there for 5, 10, 15 years, maybe life.
Gosh.
I'm having a talk with your principal about you tomorrow. I'll suspend sentence till I get the facts from her. She's coming here to dinner, and I want you to make a good impression for once.
Oh, I will.
Not if you look the way you do now.
What's the matter with the way I look now?
Those pants, look at them. Look at the knees.
They're the only pants I got, Unc.
That's ridiculous. You've got plenty of pants. I bought you pants only last, we'll buy you some more. Now, stick your shirt tail in. And look at those shoes, Leroy. They're not a month old. What do? Kick rocks with them?
I don't do a thing. They just get that way.
By George, you're going down to Hogan Brothers with me the first thing in the morning. Beginning tomorrow, young man, we're starting a campaign here. A campaign to make you look and act like a respectable human being.
Over here. It's the cutest suit for Leroy. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, where is it, my dear?
Over here on this model. See? Standing on the counter. Oh, Unc, you don't want me to look like a wax dummy.
You're never clean enough to look like a wax dummy, Leroy. By George, that just isn't a suit I had. Well, I kind of like that. Yes, gentlemanly. But at the same time, perfectly comfortable. Ought to wear well, too. Flannel, wonderful stuff. How do you like it, Leroy?
Where would I wear a suit like that?
What do you mean, where would you wear it? You wear it this evening at supper. Wear it to school. Just wear it, that's all.
Nobody wears clothes like that, Unc.
Well, gentlemen do. And you're going to look like a gentleman for a change. Why the devil's a salesman? Let's buy the darn suit and get out of here.
Well, I thought you were going to get him some shoes, Uncle Mort. Suit will look awful with those old elk-hide things. Oh, for corn's sake, these shoes were all right if they were only shined.
Well, why don't you shine them? I gave you a shoe polishing kit last Christmas, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well?
The stuff is all dried up.
Confound it, that's because you left the cover off. That's typical of you, Leroy. You have no regard for the value of anything. You leave the cover off the polish, naturally it dries up. What's the consequence? You can't polish your shoes. What's the consequence? They dry up. And what's the consequence of that?
My feet dry up?
No, I have to buy you a new pair of shoes. You think money grows on trees?
Uncle Mort. Shh.
Huh?
Well, sir, what can I do for you this morning?
I want to look at some suits.
Yes, sir. For yourself or for the little fellow?
For the boy. He likes that one up there on the model.
Oh, Unc. Oh, stop squawking, Leroy. You can't dress like a 10-year-old all your life. Who asked you? Nobody asked me, but I keep your big nose out of it.
Leroy?
Why, you little...
Marjorie, stop this, both of you.
Well. Got quite a handful there, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Come on, let's try on the suit.
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm afraid the one on the model would be too large for the little fellow.
I was afraid of that, Unc.
Never mind. Let's see the next size smaller.
That suit on the model is the only one like it in the store.
Let's try it on anyway. He'll grow into it.
Whatever you say, sir. It is a lovely piece of material, imported type flannel.
Imported type?
Yes, sir. It is like imported flannel, but it's made in our own mills right in this country.
Oh, well, try on the coat, Leroy.
Okay.
Well, that's not bad for size, not bad at all.
I think it looks fine. But you can't really tell with that awful polo shirt.
Yeah, that's right, my dear. Give the boy a shirt and a tie so we can get an idea of the suit.
You mean you want to buy it?
Yes, I want to buy him a shirt and a tie. A white shirt.
Yes, sir. What neckband, Sonny?
12 and a half.
You ought to have a bigger neck than that, Leroy. Bring him a 14.
Yes, sir. I could just slip a tape measure around and make sure.
Bring him a 14.
Size 14, the gentleman says, and a necktie.
While he's getting the shirt, Leroy, slip into those pants.
Where'll I go?
You don't have to go any place. Just stand behind me.
Gosh, you want me to feel like a shoplifter?
Don't be ridiculous. Get into those pants.
Well, make Marge turn around. Oh, Leroy. Uncle Mort, do you think while we're here I might look at a few blouses?
Are you thinking in terms of your allowance, my dear?
Oh, yes. That is my February allowance.
Oh, well, all right. But make it snappy.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Here's the shirt and tie. What happened to the little fellow? Oh.
Here I am.
Now put these on, Leroy.
Okay.
Bring him a pair of shoes, too.
Yes, sir. Got a shoe stand?
No, not with me. But I got plenty of them at home.
I'm sorry. Hogan Brothers cooperate 100% with the OPA.
I want the boy to try on a pair of shoes. If they're any good, I'll send them down with the stamps this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
And I'll thank you not to question my patriotism. What size shoes, Leroy?
4.
Feet will be growing soon. Bring him 5s.
Yes, sir.
Black Oxfords.
Yes, sir.
Will you tie the tie for me, Unc?
Yeah, give it to me. Now, hold still. Hold your head up, Leroy. I can't see through your skull.
Okay.
When I was your age, I could tie a bow tie and a 4-in-hand. There.
And here are the shoes for the little fellow.
Stop calling him a little fellow.
Thanks, Unc.
Put on the shoes, my boy. How much will all this be?
Well, let me see. It will be 13, 50, shirt, $1.10, $1.75, $2.55, that'll be 21, 25, 21.86.
Oh, my goodness. Here, put on the coat, Leroy, and let's see if it's worth it. How do the shoes feel? Walk around in them a little bit.
They're so big they feel better than the old ones.
Well, by George, you look like a gentleman.
Yes, he looks fine.
Come over here and look at yourself in the glass, my boy.
I don't like to put you to all this expense, Unc.
Oh, don't worry about it. You can wear these clothes till you're 16.
Oh, Leroy. Well, you look simply lovely. Oh, and I found 2 dresses upstairs for myself that I'm just crazy about. And just think, Uncle Mort, both of them for only $26.
Oh, $50 to get Leroy dressed for supper. Young man, your manners had better be perfect.
Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds.
January 23rd, 1944, The Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater. Mike Lindell, the inveterate CEO of MyPillow, wants to give back to listeners. You can get great discounts on all MyPillow products if you go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Deep discounts on all MyPillow products like the buy one, get one free special on Giza Dream Sheets. All MyPillow products come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, 10-year warranty. Call 1-800-951-8175 or go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special. Use my promo code USA. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. January 23rd, 1944, Harold Peary as the Great Gildersleeve.
Now let's get back to the Great Gildersleeve. It's Saturday evening and a very uncomfortable one for Leroy, for the principal of his school has come to dinner. But somehow he's lived through it, and now everyone has repaired to the living room, where Leroy has been called upon to perform for Miss Goodwin.
Why, I had no idea the boy was so musical, Throckmorton.
Well, he comes by it naturally, I suppose.
I'll try, go.
Oh, play something else. Please do.
He can't. That's the only piece he knows. Oh, yeah?
Leroy! Leroy! Past your bedtime now, son, I'm afraid. Say goodnight to Miss Goodwin.
So soon?
Yeah. I have to get plenty of sleep so I can get up early tomorrow and study.
Don't overdo it, Leroy.
Good night, Miss Goodwin.
Good night, Leroy.
Leroy. Ah.
Good night, sister dear. Oh, for goodness sake.
Great chums, these children.
Good night, Uncle Mort.
Good night, Leroy.
Are you kidding?
Leroy! Go to bed, my boy.
Here's the after-dinner coffee, Mr. Gildersleeve. Where's some with it?
Set it on the table here, Bertie. I'll clear space.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to help me get down them Demeter's cups. We ain't used them in so long. They're on the top shelf.
That's all right, Bertie. Miss Goodwin won't object to a regular-sized cup, I'm sure.
Oh, not at all.
After all, we're just home folks here.
Them little ones ain't big enough to put in your eye anyway. I like a man-sized cup myself.
Bertie's a jewel.
You're very lucky to have her.
Well, Uncle Mort, I guess I better be going, too.
What? Not to bed on a Saturday night?
No, I thought I'd go down to the public library for a while and read.
Huh?
Good night, Miss Goodwin. It was so nice you could come over.
Good night, Marjorie. It was so good to see you again.
Good night, Unky, darling.
Good night. I'll leave the key under the doormat in case the library closes late.
She's such an attractive girl.
I don't know, though. She's been getting out of hand a little too lately. But it's the other one I'm worried about, Leroy.
Oh, I don't really think you need worry about Leroy.
Leroy, I mean.
It's just that he's going through that difficult age.
How long does it last? Seems to me he's been going through it ever since I've known him.
Well, boys will be boys. There's nothing really wrong with Leroy. I've talked with his teacher about him, and we both feel that all he needs is guidance.
Well, I punish him regularly about twice a week.
Well, I don't mean quite that. Here's the cup, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, thank you, Bertie.
Anything else?
No, I think we've got everything, thanks. Will you pour, Eve?
I'd be delighted. I love having coffee in the evening, don't you?
Sure do. I like it for breakfast, too. And for lunch.
Throckmorton, has it ever occurred to you that Leroy might need a mother?
Well, I've tried to be a father to him.
Well, you have, and I admire you for it. Everyone does.
Well, he's a good kid. They're both good kids.
But don't you think they need someone who can give them what a mother has to give them?
Well, I never thought of it that way. Maybe you're right.
Someone who would be not only a guide and mother to them, but you have yourself to think of, too. After all, a house without love isn't much of a home. You must have felt that.
You know, it's funny you saying that. I almost got married about a year ago. I guess I told you.
Yes, you told me.
Then I sort of gave up the idea. Maybe I shouldn't.
Well, we've all had our disappointments. I don't think you should let one unfortunate affair sour you on the whole idea. If at first you don't succeed.
Eve, you're wonderful. You don't know what you've done for me this evening. You've made up my mind for me.
Have I, Throckmorton?
For months now, I've been this way and that. Should I or shouldn't I?
I know I have, too.
But when you bring up the children, that settles it. By George, I'll do it.
Oh, you seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Gildersleeve. After all, you haven't asked the girl, you know.
Listen, with Beauregard out of the way, Leela will marry me in a minute. Eve, is something wrong?
If you'll excuse me, I think I'd better be going.
But, Eve, so early? You haven't even finished your coffee.
I'll get my own wrap, thank you.
Eve, you can't rush off like this.
Thank you for a very pleasant evening, and good night.
Good.
Miss Goodwin ain't left already. Mr. Gildersleeve, what's wrong?
You're a woman, Bertie. You tell me.
Now, where you going?
I'm going out and take a walk for myself. I just can't understand it, fellows. 1 minute she's as cool as a cucumber, gives me plenty of good sound advice, and the next minute she walks out in a huff.
I tell you, gentlemen, the deviousness of a woman's mind and the inconsistency of her whims are enough to discourage a man from having anything to do with the entire sex.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Gotta love Peavy, Dick LeGrand. Harold Peary, The Great Gildersleeve, January 23rd, 1944. I'm Wyatt Cox. This is Classic Radio Theater.
America's founders knew power corrupts, and ultimate power corrupts ultimately, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's why they built in checks and balances to prevent any one group from seizing all power.
And that's why our president is elected by a college of electors to protect the rights of little states like Delaware and Wyoming against giants like New York and California. After all, our country is a republic, the United States of America, not the United State. Our states are independent sovereign powers who created the federal government, not the other way around.
And that's why all power ultimately lies in we the people and the states, not a central dictatorship of cronies. Did you know that? Thank God for the U.S. Constitution.
Find out more how our amazing Constitution and Bill of Rights protect us, the citizens, against power-crazed politicians in Washington. Help us take back America. Go to ouramericanrights.com. Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. January 23rd, 1944. Harold Peary is The Great Gildersleeve. As Peavy was saying...
I wouldn't say that.
Peavy? You mean to tell me Mrs. Peavy never has any whims?
Well, I wouldn't say that either. But when you've been married as long as I have, you begin to notice that the same old whims keep coming up. And if you're smart...
If you're smart, you wouldn't be married.
Well, Judge, why so bitter?
I'm not being bitter, Gildy. I'm simply facing facts.
Well, Judge, people have been getting married now for quite some time. There must be something in it.
Oh, don't misunderstand me. I have nothing against marriage. I'm all in favor of it. For other people.
Yeah, for other people.
Now, our friend Gildersleeve here has obligations. He has children. Man in his position ought to get married.
That's the judge, always thinking of others.
Besides, I think marriage would be a great thing for Gildersleeve. Might make him less ornery, huh, Peavy?
Well, I wouldn't want to guarantee that.
Just think, Gildy, you'd come home at night, there'd be the little woman waiting for you in a pretty little apron, and Leroy all scrubbed and brushed and smiling. I can see it now.
I can't.
After dinner, you wouldn't have to spend your evening hanging around drugstores talking to old goats like me and Peavy. No, you could settle down to a nice, dull game of dominoes.
Now, there you're wrong, Judge. It just so happens that the lady I have in mind can't stand dominoes. You can say what you please, but the more I think of it, the better I like it.
Let me ask you, Gildersleeve, have you any reason to think the lady of your choice would have you, even if you ask her?
She'll have me, don't worry. That's one thing about her. She may have her faults, but at least I know where I stand with her.
One other thing. You haven't told us yet who the lady is.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, I always said it was a pity you didn't marry Leela. Of course, I didn't mean it. I still have some hopes in that direction myself. But if you found someone else...
I thought you said marriage was not for you.
Well, don't believe everything you hear.
Well, I guess I'll be toddling along. I've got business to attend to.
Say, Peavy, come here a minute.
Yes?
You know what I think? If you just ask me...
What are you two whispering about over there?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Come on, what are you two talking about?
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, there's one thing we'd like to know.
What's that?
Has the lady in question met Leroy?
Well, she knows what she's getting into. Don't worry.
And she's still willing to marry you? Then I'd say it was a perfect match, wouldn't you, Peavy?
I'd say it was ordained in heaven. Good luck, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I don't need luck, Peavy. This is in the bag. Come on, confound it. It's too cold to keep anybody standing outdoors today.
Oh, it's you, Throckmorton. Oh, come in. Take off your things. I'll be with you in a jiffy. I'm talking on the phone.
She knew what I'm here for. She wouldn't keep me standing around.
Hello? Are you still there? Oh, nobody you'd be interested in.
If she only knew.
Well, I did have the most marvelous time the other night. Oh, you shouldn't say things like that. Not unless you really mean them. Oh, you doctor.
Hargrave. I'll spike his guns.
Well, make it soon, Arthur.
Arthur?
Real soon, you hear? Goodbye. Oh, Throckmorton, this is quite a surprise seeing you this evening. Come in and sit down, won't you?
Yeah. By George, that fire looks good.
I got so cold I just had to have it this morning. You don't suppose it needs another log, do you?
Log? Yeah, I suppose it does.
You might give it a little poke, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Now the room will be cozier.
I didn't come over here to be cozy, Leela. That is, well, I've got good news for you.
Oh, how interesting.
Yes. I've been thinking a good deal lately.
Oh, excuse me, Throckmorton. I've got something here I know you'll be crazy to see.
But, Leela, I was about to say that...
You remember my sister Winfield, don't you? She was here for a few days last spring, married to an army captain.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, she just had a baby last week, and she sent me these snapshots of him. Isn't he adorable?
Looks just like your sister. What I was going to say,
Well,
Leela...
I certainly thought you'd show more interest in Winfield's child, Throckmorton.
Confound it, Leela. I've got something I want to say to you.
Well, go on and say it, Throckmorton, if it's so vital.
It's tied up with my future.
Mm-hmm.
It's tied up with your future, too.
Mm-hmm.
What I was thinking, Leela, is, I've got to have somebody to look after Leroy.
Well.
And I thought as long as we almost got married once, and Leroy is pretty hard to handle, maybe for his sake we ought to go ahead and do it.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
What?
I'm sure I can't imagine how I could have ever considered marrying you at any time.
But, Leela...
Kindly leave my house, Mr. Gildersleeve. Your presence is most unwelcome.
Unwelcome? Oh, my goodness. Now what have I done wrong? It's me, Leroy. Were you asleep, my boy?
Well, I hadn't been asleep very long.
Oh, I see. I just thought I'd say good night.
Okay, good night, Unc.
If I ever seem a little harsh with you, my boy, don't hold it against me. I get worried about you every once in a while.
About me?
Mm-hmm. I get to thinking maybe I haven't looked after you carefully enough.
Don't worry about that. You look after me plenty.
Well, I want you to feel free to come to me with any problems that are bothering you.
I will if I get any.
Come and talk to me the way a boy might talk to his mother.
Okay.
You don't think you need a mother particularly, do you?
You mean right now?
Yes.
Unc, you're not going to go and...
No. That is, well, there's nothing very immediate anyway.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well. Way we are, you're a pretty good boy.
Okay, let's not bring in any outsiders.
I won't. Well, good night, Leroy. You can go back to sleep now.
Back to sleep? Oh yeah. Say, Unc, as long as you're here, how about signing my report card before I forget it?
Oh, yes.
It's right there on the dresser.
All right. Signature, parent, our guardian. Yes. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. There.
Thanks a million, Unc. Good night.
Good night, my boy. Sweet dreams. By the way, Leroy, the next time you're reading in bed and you hear me coming, don't turn out the light. It works better if you pretend you fell asleep with the light on.
What?
Yeah. Good night.
Gosh, what a character.
Music heard on this program was directed by Claude Sweet. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, inviting you to tune in again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
January 23rd, 1944, Harold Peary is the Great Gildersleeve on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or if you just have a plan you're not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. There are hundreds of thousands of members, and they love it. MediShare has a 98% customer satisfaction rating, and this is obviously huge. The typical family saves around $6,000 a year switching to MediShare. Find out more. They're great to talk to. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
And we head from Summerfield, where the Great Gildersleeve is living now, to Wistful Vista, where the Great Gildersleeve came from, and check in on his old friends Fibber McGee and Molly in an episode from January 23rd, 1956.
Again, we invite you to listen to the transcribed adventures of Fibber McGee and Molly. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Ralph Goodman and directed by Max Hutto.
Oh, how I hate these wash days. I've got a washing machine full and things soaking in every sink in the house. How one man can get 9 towels dirty in 2 days is beyond me. If he'd wash the dirt off his hands instead of just dampening it to loosen it up and then wiping it off on the towels, he'd... Oh! My wedding ring. Got it. No! Ah! No! Down the drain. McGee! McGee, can you come out here on the porch a minute? Hurry!
Now, what is it, kiddo? I'm working on a crossword puzzle here, so if it can wait
Now,
a while...
my ring, McGee, my wedding ring went down the drain in the laundry tub.
You what? Oh, Molly. Don't tell me you carelessly let your good gold wedding ring, the everlasting symbol of our wedded bliss...
Down the drain, yeah. Oh, I was rinsing out some clothes and my hands were wet and it slipped off my finger.
Oh,
and...
gee whiz, kiddo, that's terrible. That's unexcusable. That's just plain carelessness and neglect.
Oh, now, don't blame yourself too much, dearie.
Myself?
Yes. Wasn't that what you meant? That this wouldn't have happened if you hadn't taken the little strainer out of there and tried to replate it with Teeny's chemical set last month?
Oh, gee, that's right. Didn't I ever put that strainer back over the drain there?
Take a look.
Sure's dark down there.
My lovely wedding ring.
Now, don't get excited, kiddo. We'll get it out, but you really should be more careful. Lately, you always seem to be losing things.
Me? This is the first thing that's happened to me in over a year. If you're thinking about that address book we tore the house upside down for and never found, that was yours. And so was the elk's tooth we looked for, till you called off the hunt. And did you ever find the gold cuff link?
Well, it's no use us standing here reminiscing, kiddo. That's not getting your ring out of the drain pipe.
That's true.
It's probably caught in the trap down there where the pipe curves.
That's what I figured.
So I'll just run down to the basement and get my tools.
No, please. Now we go through this every time. Let's call a plumber.
Oh, but this is such a simple little job, kiddo.
That's what you said the last time. What happened?
Well, you were going to mop the floor anyway. You always do on Saturdays.
Today isn't Saturday. And if you recall, before I could start mopping, we had to do a whole lot of bailing. And I'm not about to go through that again.
But believe me, Molly, this job is nothing. I don't have to fool with any pipes with water in them at all this time. Just the drain pipe.
Well...
All I got to take off is the elbow down there, see? I'll run down the basement and get my Stilson wrench and loosen... Oh, for the love of... Doggone it. I haven't got my Stilson wrench.
Oh, goody.
I loaned it to Herb Travis. Gee Willikers, and he lives way across town, and it's so cold out.
Then we call a plumber, huh?
No, Molly, gee whiz. Do you know what them pipe pilots get for an hour's flying time on a drain pipe?
Here we go again.
And what if they run into complications, like usually happens?
To who?
Me. And I've been fixing drains all my life, so it could happen to a plumber, too. No, sir. I'm not going to let any plumber charge me a fortune for wrecking my drain when I can do it cheaper myself.
But, dearie, it's cold outside, and if you catch cold...
I won't, don't you worry. Where's my coat? Oh, here 'tis. Don't you worry your curly little head, Tootsie. I'll be back in about an hour with my Stilson wrench, and once I put it on that drain and give it a couple of good hard yanks, it'll come loose. Goodbye.
It'll come loose, he says. When he starts fooling with the plumbing, everything comes loose. But his mind is made up, and I'm smart enough to know when there's no more point in arguing with him. So there's only one thing to do. Call the plumber. Have him rush over here and get the job done before McGee gets back. So, hello, Acme Plumbing? Emergency. This is 79 Wistful Vista, and I need a plumber right away. I'm certainly glad you could come right over. The laundry tub is right there.
Okay, lady. We'll have a look. Your wedding ring, huh?
Right down the drain. I hope it doesn't take long,
Oh,
sir.
shouldn't. Ought to be out of here in half an hour. What happened to your strainer? Ought to have a strainer. Fits in a little hole here. Keeps things from going down the
I
drain.
know. My husband took it out a few weeks ago to replate it with a chemical set.
Oh, one of them kind, huh?
I don't want to rush you, but I would appreciate it if you'd hurry. He'll be home in less than an hour, and he intended to do this job himself, you see.
Oh, he did he? Oh, what's the matter? He thinks we overcharged, does he?
Oh, no, it isn't that.
He's one of them guys that thinks all plumbers loaf on the job, I suppose.
No, it's just that...
I don't know how this erroneous idea got started. Everybody looks at us with a fishy eye when we walk into a house. Then they watch over our shoulder while we work, like we were going to cheat them or something.
I didn't mean to sound
All us guys try to do is our job, lady, and all we ask is just to be left alone while we're working. But do we get it? No. Every time we make a move, eyes peering at us from corners, a little voice saying, "You sure you have to unscrew that faucet there? My uncle don't do it that way."
Look, sir, you have a hard life, I know. I'm sorry for you. You have my sympathy. Now, would you just loosen up that drain and...
Oh, yeah, pardon me. You want your wedding ring?
Yes, and I'd like to have you through and out of here before my husband gets home. I just as soon he didn't know I called a plumber. He was so against it.
Yeah? Well, what are you going to tell him? I mean, I'll get the ring out, but he'll know somebody.
I'll handle it, don't you worry. Now, call me the minute you get that ring out, and I'll bring your money, and please hurry. McGee will be home in a little while, though, Doctor. Sit down.
Well, thank you, my dear. I was just passing by and I
I'm glad you stopped in. I'm sort of in the doghouse today.
You?
Yeah?
You're a strange occupant for the doghouse, Molly. It's usually your little spaniel-eyed friend who has squatter rights in the hound hacienda.
Well, himself doesn't like carelessness, you know.
In other people.
And I was careless. Doing the washing, and I let my wedding ring slip down the drain in the laundry tub.
Oh, gee, did you get it out all right?
Not yet, but I have a plumber out on the back porch taking the drain apart right now. Darn it, I wish he'd hurry up. Oh, Mr. I don't even know his name. Plumber, how's it coming?
A little tougher than I thought, lady. Almost through, though. Just a few minutes.
How in the world did you ever get little Thumb Smasher to let you call a plumber? I thought he tried to do
I
it.
didn't get him to let me, Doctor. In fact, he just insisted on doing the job himself.
That figures.
But he had to go over to Herb Travis's house to get his big wrench first, and I'm hoping the plumber will be through and out of here before McGee gets back.
Oh, don't worry. The plumber will have plenty of time. If I know McGee, he and Herb Travis will get talking bowling, and he won't get back till... Uh-oh. There's his car pulling in the driveway.
What? Oh, dear. Talk to him, Doctor. Keep him here.
Relax, Molly. The minute he comes in the door, I'll pick an argument with him.
Oh, good.
Now, you speed up the plumber, and when he gets through, holler. I'll keep McGee in here till I hear you yell.
Oh, plumber, are you through yet? Did you get my ring out? Please hurry.
Take it easy, lady. I just dumped the stuff out on the sink here a minute ago. Now, here's your ring.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, let me slip it on.
And there's the other stuff over there. You had quite a pile of it.
Listen a minute.
Well, hello, Butterfingers. Welcome home.
Oh, hi, Fatso. What you doing here?
Waiting for you. What do you think you're going to do with the pipe wrench, besides drop it on your foot?
I'm going to take it out to the back porch and open up the drain on the laundry tub, lard bucket.
Oh, dear.
Can you imagine anybody being so careless, Doc, that they do a washing without taking off their wedding ring and let their good gold wedding ring go down the drain pipe?
Oh, sure. That could happen to anybody.
Yeah, well, it couldn't happen to me because I'm not the careless type. I've told Molly a dozen times that she's not the type.
Lady, do you want to see the rest of the stuff I found in the drain trap there? It's here on the sink.
Heavenly days.
It's a wonder the drain wasn't stopped up complete.
McGee's elk's tooth, his good gold cufflink, his Navajo Indian ring he got in a box of Cracker Jack, his solid gold collar button. Ho, no wonder he wanted to open up this drain by himself. So I'm careless, am I?
Huh?
Bawling me out because I dropped my...
No, McGee, don't go out there.
Hey, turn loose of me, Doc. I got work to do. What's the matter with you?
It's all right, Doctor. Send the little gentleman out here.
Okay.
Dearie, I'd like to have a word with you about carelessness. Just take a look at this pile of junk.
Some stuff. I'll admit it. I dropped a few things down the drain from time to time. I've been careless. But is that a crime? Is it, Molly? Molly?
I don't want to butt in, mister, but you're wasting your time. I know wives. I got one myself. Once they catch you stepping out of line.
Not my wife. She's different. She's sweet and dear and kind. And above all, understanding and forgiving.
Yeah? Huh.
In all these 30 years of wonderful marriage we've been through together, a man couldn't be blessed with a sweeter, kinder, more considerate...
All right, dearie. You win. You're forgiven.
Thanks, kiddo.
Well, what do you know? I got to remember that and try it on Florence next time. Let me see. In all these 30 years of wonderful marriage, a man couldn't...
So long, everybody.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
The plumber was played by Bill Thompson, and Dr. Gamble was, as usual, Arthur Q. Bryan. Goodbye for now. We'll expect you back again tomorrow. John Wall speaking.
January 23rd, 1956, Fibber McGee and Molly on Classic Radio Theater. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me there directly, classicradio.stream. We also have links there to all of our social media so you can stay in immediate touch with us. Wherever podcasts are served, you should find our programs. That includes iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, all of those places. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I'm Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station, support their advertisers, and tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.